So on 119, Detective Gummert speaks with Sidra Alam, who lives with her father in Texas. This is the younger sister of Kamel. Sidra is 22 at this time. She tells Detective Gummert that the mom was in hospice care due to cancer and was not expected to live much longer, page 25. Also on page 25, Sidra gives her detailed timeline of what happened when she went in October to try to find her sister, to try to speak with her sister. David would not let her speak with her sister. Reading these police reports would make you think that Sidra went by herself. Obviously, that's not true. She went with her then boyfriend, her now husband. Okay, now on page 28, we're going to go back to Chris Peck. We're going to go to 12/19/2014 at 1 p.m. This is the last time that Chris Peck sees David and Kamel as they purchase a small amount of marijuana. Chris Peck says that David is his mentor for filming and producing films. That's on page 28. So we know that Tommy Booth contacted Chris Peck in March of 2013. Chris Peck helps film scenes for the Gray State concept trailer. It's hard to read my own handwriting here, sorry. And Chris Peck also worked on and off with David on the project of Gray State, still on page 28. Rainey was not with them at the pickup. That's what I have here. Later on did I find out why Rainey was not there. She was not there because she was in school. She'll later be picked up at school, which might be the last time anybody ever sees David and Kamel and Rania all together. At least just based on the little data that we have of what was going on during that time. So David and Kamel go to Chris Peck's house around 1 p.m. Chris Peck was also there back in August of 2014 when Rania had the big birthday party, her 5th birthday party. And Chris Peck knows that the meeting happened on January 19, 2014 because it was just 2 days prior to him leaving for Iowa for Christmas. And the Crowleys had wished him a Merry Christmas and a safe trip. So he's on his way out. Chris Peck is on his way to Iowa on the December 21st is what it sounds like. And Mr. Peck states that the last time he spoke with the Crowleys was on December 19, 2014 and has not spoken with them since that day. Peck was very cooperative and forthcoming with his information. He even told me that I needed to speak with Daniel Mason and Mitch Heil, who were also part of Project for Gray State and friends with David. Mr. Peck said it had been over a year since he had seen Mitch, but had just spoken with Daniel Mason the day before I spoke with him, and gave me the cell phone number of Daniel Mason. Okay, so that's why I have here that, okay, so Chris Peck talked to Danny Mason on 1/18/2015, and on 1/19/2015 is when Detective Booth speaks with Danny Mason. All right. Let's see. Danny Mason knew, and this is going to be on page 30. So if you go to page 30, you'll see Detective Tommy Booth speaking with Danny Mason. Danny Mason knew David for 4 years, met him through the Bullet Exchange. Booth reported that once the concept trailer was done, Crowley's intention, according to Mason, was to try to sell the movie for a full-length movie to film studio in California. At one point in time, he thought that the movie studio had come back saying it was going to run at roughly $30 million to produce a full-length movie of Gray State. Mr. Mason was unsure as to whether or not an actual paperwork or contracts were signed to make a full-length movie, page 30. Of course he's unsure because he's cut out of this deal. All right, so here's where it gets pretty interesting now. We're still on page 30, and Danny Mason says that his involvement with Gray State and Crowley was strictly as an actor and as a friend, and that he had not been involved in any financing or was actually listed on any paperwork as a partner with Crowley and Heil, page 30. That could be why he's having such a hard time securing those rights to the Gray State now, at least for the last couple years, and why he probably won't get those rights. Still with Booth talking to Danny Mason back in August of 2014, Danny Mason saw the entire family the last time at Rania's birthday. Mason reported to Booth that a lot of the writers, producers, and filmmakers who are all in some way, shape, or form related to the movie and concept trailer of Gray State. They were all there. Still on page 30. Then we go to September of 2014. This is the last time Danny Mason sees David. And he says, Booth states that Danny Mason states that he had come over to the Crowley residence to talk to David concerning the movie and where the movie was heading. Now, why would Danny Mason be doing this if he's just the actor, right? No, obviously, he's definitely more. He's got to be more than that. So Danny Mason goes over to the Crowley house, and he wants to know where the movie is going, where everything is headed, right? But Danny talked to David out in the driveway of the residence and had stated that David had looked like he had lost a bunch of weight and was fragile. The decline, right? This is their bullet point. This is their whole story. David is declining. Everything that he's doing, he's separating himself. He's losing money. He is, on his last leg. Everything's bad for this guy. When you really research it, you see he has pretty much everything going for him. Probably he's got some family issues, yeah, but when you really look at it, those family issues are deep-rooted family issues between the family, and families get over that stuff, but it's a family issue. It doesn't usually cause you to kill your kids and to kill your wife and to kill yourself. So, not saying it didn't happen, but come on, based on what we've seen here, based on everything that we've read so far, are you seeing it? Because I know I didn't see it. I know a bunch of other people, a lot of more educated people than me, did not see it and still don't see it and still are very, very curious about what really happened here. So on October 1st, 2014, Danny Mason receives an email from David Crowley's attorney asking for Danny Mason to release any rights that he has as an actor in the movie so that David could take the script and movie a different route than what was originally planned. Page 31 still. If Danny Mason is just an actor, what type of rights would an actor have to anybody's script? If he's just an actor, why would David be contacting him about actor rights? I need some help with that. Look at page 31 there. Okay, then we go to October 7th, 2014. This time, David directly emails Danny Mason. The email stated in summary that David had decided to take the Gray State into a different path than what was originally thought. And in order for him to do what he needed to do, Mr. Mason needed to sign a release form, releasing him of his rights to the movie. What type of deal? I guess it really comes down to what type of deal Danny Mason and David Crowley had. And there's different, there's deals that are done on a handshake, and then there's deals that are done through contract. And these seem like handshake people, at least from what I'm saying. So I don't know. But we definitely need to look more into that. That's still on page 31. I would like to see one. Can somebody find an instance where a director, a writer, a producer, somebody, a creator of a script, a creator of a project, contacts an actor that was in their project to release them of their rights? Maybe there are. I don't know. I don't know the business. I'm not in Hollywood. I have no understanding of the whole business. That just seems weird. What type of rights would an actor have that would stop David Crowley from moving forward with another production company? It seems a creator would have that right? But that's not what Danny Mason tells the police here. It's weird. So then Danny Mason replies back to David, telling him that he needs his attorney to have time to take a look, to look over this release form before he signed any release concerning this movie. So it's even weirder. This is page 31. It's even weirder now where Danny Mason doesn't want to sign away these rights, these actor rights. Whatever these actor rights are, he does not want to sign them away. Anyways, let's see. Danny Mason describes David as being upset about the way he was used in the military during Iraq and Afghanistan, but was not an extremist. Still on page 31. Danny Mason also stated David never talked about Christianity, Muslims, Islamic beliefs, and if anything, Danny Mason thought that they may be atheists. Page 31. Shall we go to Mitch Heil? We'll put Mitch Heil in the next video.